Welcome to the Adam Roosevelt Show, where we provide short coverage and highlights on foreign affairs and U.S. political topics facing the nation, facing the East, and also facing the West. We give you rich insights from a global perspective, having the experience on the ground, seeing these issues unfold. We will be conversing about foreign affairs and U.S. politics Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So tune in, stay tuned. We've got handpicked topics for you all, and we look forward to keeping you all abreast with what's happening in the world of foreign affairs and politics. Today's top picks are pretty straightforward. We've all continued to follow this story, Russia, Ukraine. And now, as we all know, we have been focusing on peace negotiations and seeing how they unfolded between Russia and the Ukraine. There has been this 15-point peace plan. We've been waiting to see the details. We can only anticipate that the details of the terms and conditions demand that President Zelensky, the Zelensky administration, no longer seek to join NATO. And we follow the story where Zelensky has made statements that he would not be seeking to join NATO. And I think Putin's main objective essentially has been accomplished if you listen to the words of President Zelensky. Now, meanwhile, even when the peace negotiations were occurring, Russian engagement has still continued. And this was weeks ago to capture Kyiv, which I would say is the headquarter operation of the Zelensky administration, essentially is the fortified fortress that is very difficult to take. So they've put the right military capabilities, they put the right assets in place to guard the castle, to keep things safe and keep Zelensky alive and keep the headquarters operational. Now, we've seen today the Russian military has withdrawn to regroup and effectively reposition their military assets now to take the Donbas region. So the war is not over. It is not done. The recalibration effort has occurred. Now, let's also talk about this really quickly. Russia has made nuclear threats to Sweden and Finland over considering to join NATO. And now we've seen Ukraine in its attempt to join NATO making statements. Now President Putin is getting ahead of any country who might seek to join NATO. But before we get out of this story, we'll leave you with this one last note. The Ukraine has now put its application responses and answers together to apply for European Union membership. And that European Union membership essentially is being worked, being discussed to fast track this application. And essentially, Ukraine wants this so they get similar protections of being a NATO member, and they get similar protections, essentially military and economic support. Okay, let's go ahead and dive in. U.S. top picks. Biden eyes deals with Iran for oil trade, given the global energy crisis. You all know inflation. You all know at-home consumer costs are going up. Transportation relies on energy, and we're seeing quite a bit of difficulties globally given the Russia-Ukraine war. So Biden is boxed in due to the Russia-Ukraine war from the energy perspective, inflation, high cost. Again, the State Department is now looking at strategic avenues that they can take, which include now negotiating with adversaries of the United States who have been involved in state-sponsored terrorism. This is proven from the Department of State perspective. This is proven from the Department of Justice perspective. There's cases out there that have awarded veterans, 9/11 victims, whether it be the Iraq war, the Afghanistan war. There are cases that prove that Iran has been involved in state-sponsored terrorism. So we are now seeing U.S. Senator Joe Manchin rightfully voicing concerns on removing these sanctions against the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, and Biden exploring Venezuela, Biden exploring Iran, giving a relaxed sanction position puts us in a strategic position that would impact the national security interests of the United States. And we're hearing this from the United States Senate. I would tend to agree that this is a problem because we know the money that will be used in these trades will essentially boost the Iranian economy, which they could in fact use this money, use this cover to target and carry out their objectives against the West. Last but not least, this one is very interesting. We've been in lockdown, we've been waiting, we've been looking at science, trying to make sure the vaccinations are working. People have died. There has been a large public outcry over the mask mandates globally. And just recently, Trump appointed U.S. District Court judge has lifted the mask mandate, which has really led to lifting the mask mandate, which has caused the outrage and also some celebration amongst various political groups in the United States, and I would deem around the world, as the United States sets precedent in terms of the social conditions, the public safety, and we are extremely excited to get back to normal life. So thank you all for joining us. We'll be back Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We look forward to working with you all. We look forward to seeing you all. Welcome to the Roosevelt Show.